Have you ever wondered what your net worth is? And have you ever thought to take the time to actually figure out what your net worth is? The reason why this is important is because if you are going to make any improvements on your net worth, it will be important to actually have the details, like have the numbers down. And figuring out your net worth isn't the difficult part. I think it's more about the emotional process that it puts people through that makes people avoid figuring out their net worth. Why am I sharing this with you? We have here, this was at about April 17, 2023, Americans have a net worth problem and it's not positive. All right. And it's, if you can see down here, it says more than half of Americans don't know how to calculate their net worth, about 51%. It says nearly 1/3 of Americans have a net worth of $0 or less, about 31%. And it says 31% or 30% of Gen Z care more about celebrities' net worth than their own. According to the results of a survey that was conducted by the Federal Reserve, this was in October 2023, they compare incomes and figure out, the average net worth of individuals in the country. The median net worth was $192,900, while the top 10% had a net worth of $1.9 million. Another important number that was included in this data is their net worth by age. For example, for people less than 35, the median net worth was $39,000, while the mean in 2022 was $183,000. Now, you have to understand that a more realistic number to go by is the median. Another important number here is, for people between the age of 45 to 54, the median is $247,000 net worth, by the way, $247,200, while the mean is $975,000. Now, one question that comes to mind when it applies to figuring out your net worth and knowing the importance of education, this stats or this data that was provided by the Feds also included, the level of education of people and their net worth. And according to the chart, you'd notice that no high school diploma, the net worth, this median, all right, the median net worth sits around 38,100. People with high school diploma sits around 106,000. People with some college degree or some college have around 136,000, and people with college degree do have 464,000 median net worth. And of course, as you can see that the mean is a lot higher, about $2 million. Now, the reason why the mean isn't a good number to go by is because there's always a small percentage of people that are making a lot of money. If you think about it, the billionaires in the world, they really occupy about 1% of the total population of people with those kind of net worth. So the point here is you always want to go by the median. Now, another important question to ask is in regards to the race of these people with this net worth. So white non-Hispanic holds the top position in net worth. The median net worth sits around $285,000, while Black or African American non-Hispanic sits around 44,900. Hispanic or Latino sits around 61,000, and other or multiple race sits around 132,000. This begs the question, what are we doing as a race, especially for Blacks, Hispanic or Latino, right? We, especially Blacks being the least on this number, it's important to realize that financial education goes a long way. And that's one of the reasons why I'm sharing what I'm sharing here, especially as an immigrant coming from a different background and being here and realizing how things work financially. It is very important to equip yourself so that you can also get to improve your net worth. Now, one question that I want to ask is, how do you calculate your net worth? You can make this simple, all right? All you need to, you can use a pen and a paper. You can use an Excel sheet. You can use some fancy calculators or programs online. But all you need to calculate is what is the total number of assets you have and what is the total number of liabilities you have. The difference between your asset and your liabilities gives you your net worth. A simple example. if your total number of assets, including your savings account, your car, your jewelry, your phone, whatever you want to calculate as an asset that you know that if you can sell at the current value will yield a certain amount of money. If you add up that number, let's assume that number comes down to around $10,000, and your liabilities, for example, your credit card, your student loans, maybe your car payments or loan on the car that is currently still open, or your mortgage balance, or loan balance, you add up that numbers and then you find the difference between your liabilities and your assets, and that number gives you value. Now, one important thing that you also need to remember is that sometimes this number may come out to be negative, and this is okay. This doesn't mean that you have to throw in the towel and give up and not even try. The also important aspect of this is realize that once you have that number down, you now have a way to work at it. If you are not taking the time to figure out what your net worth is, there's a chance that you would avoid it and you won't improve this number. And it doesn't magically happen. It takes time, it takes dedication, it takes the consistent effort to work at something to make it better. And that is where your net worth becomes important. So take the time, if you can, sit down with your wife, with your husband, with your kids, and figure out what your net worth is. If you're not married, if you're single, if you're with a girlfriend, a significant other, whatever, sit down to figure out what your net worth is and begin to track it. You can track it every 6 months, every year, and start to see what changes you need to make in order to make that number go in the right direction. I just wanted to encourage you, let you know that this is possible. It will take a bit of giving up some things, delaying gratification, delaying purchasing that thing that you really want, but the results will help you to know what to do. I wish you the best of luck, and if you find value in this one, please don't forget to drop a like on it. I'd love to see you in my next one.